Animation studios absolutely love playing with Easter eggs and hiding characters in places where no one is paying attention. Sometimes they show up in the background, sometimes as a silhouette, a toy, or even a reflection. But the big question is, how many famous characters from Disney, DreamWorks, and Illumination have you actually seen hidden in other movies without even realizing it? To kick off our list the right way, the creators of the Super Mario Bros. Movie made sure to honor the spirit of Nintendo's games. They were not kidding when they said they would pack the film with special appearances everywhere. And one of the funniest and most detail-packed scenes is the infamous forced wedding between Bowser and our beloved Princess Peach. Among the guests is none other than King Boo himself, a major and explosive name in the Mario universe. His appearance is short, but it's pure fan service for anyone who recognizes this legendary villain. But if there are hidden characters at Bowser's wedding, there was also a moment when Bowser himself was the secret cameo in another movie. That happened in Disney's Wreck-It Ralph from 2012, when we see the main character attending a support group for supervillains, and guess who's sitting right there? Yep, Bowser from the Super Mario Bros. Universe. That's what I call a crossover reference between Disney and Illumination. But hold on, because we're only getting started with this mind-blowing list, we're definitely going to blow your mind. Our next item comes straight from Disney's magical kingdoms. After years locked away behind frozen gates, Arendelle finally opened its doors for a historic moment: Elsa's coronation. The whole city was in celebration mode, with flags everywhere, fancy guests walking around, and a little tension in the air. After all, when a future queen who controls ice gets nervous, anything can turn into a popsicle, right? But the coolest part is that the guests weren't just random background extras dressed up in fancy outfits. You can clearly spot a very familiar couple. Yes, Rapunzel and Flynn Rider show up. And it wasn't random at all. After everything they went through with hidden towers, magic hair, and dramatic villains, the newlyweds apparently decided to take some royal vacation time and make a diplomatic visit. Nothing more fitting than celebrating their friend Elsa's big day. Back to Wreck-It Ralph. As we mentioned earlier, this movie is one of Disney's animations, with the highest number of cameos from characters of other franchises. Right from the beginning, in the moment when Ralph joins the villain support group, we see Clyde, the famous Pac-Man ghost, always with that "I chase people, but I also have feelings" vibe. And of course, if you're a fan of the Sonic games, shows, or movies, you definitely noticed the presence of the terrifying Dr. Robotnik with his unmistakable mustache and Major Evil Genius attitude, also sitting in that emotional support circle for villains. We also can't forget the appearance of Zangief from Street Fighter, that giant wall of muscle with a soft heart who proudly admits being a bad guy is tough. And right beside him in the same scene is the biggest villain from that very same video game, the head of the criminal organization Shadaloo, and the most dangerous enemy in the Street Fighter universe. Now get ready, because this next crossover shows up to break every animated universe at once. We're talking about Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, the movie that proved nothing is impossible when Disney decides to open the vault and rain references like nerd glitter everywhere. Right away, we get cameos that make any fan jump from their chair. He-Man and Skeletor show up in all their 80s glory, proving that the animated multiverse is real and wide open for visitors. It feels like every character who marked our childhood mornings on TV got a VIP invitation, and many of them accepted. But nothing, and I mean nothing, beats the craziest cameo of them all: Randy Marsh, straight out of South Park. Yes, in a totally unexpected moment, while Chip and Dale are snooping around the bathhouse, there's Randy sitting in the sauna with a towel, chilling with other characters like it's the most normal thing ever. This crossover is so absurd, it looks like a file mixing mistake, or a fan's fever dream. And that's exactly why Rescue Rangers feels like an animated Where's Waldo, where every scene is a treasure hunt to figure out who's going to pop up next. Now let's jump straight into Disney's Greek mythology, the 1997 movie Hercules. Many animation fans remember this film as one of the biggest hits of the late 90s. During his battles, the demigod son of Zeus faces the terrifying Nemean lion, a beast so invincible that even the strongest weapons couldn't make a dent. But when Hercules defeats the monster and poses for a painting, wearing its skin like a cape, something feels off. That mane, that defeated expression, those colors, and then it clicks. The fearsome lion is none other than Scar, the wicked villain from The Lion King. Yep, after his brutal fate in the claws of the hyenas, Scar apparently ended up in another story, this time as a fancy outfit for a demigod. Here's a little tip for you. Click the subscribe button down below. That way, it'll be much harder for you to miss any of our upcoming videos. Get ready, because now we're stepping into those theories that break your brain, the kind that make you pause the movie, zoom in, call your cousin, and scream, "I knew it!" And the star of this story is none other than Sid Phillips, the nightmare-fueled toy destroyer kid from the first Toy Story. Everyone remembers him, the boy who tore toys apart, glued doll heads onto dinosaur legs, and haunted half a generation of Pixar fans. Well, Sid grew up. In Toy Story 3, he appears as a garbage collector. Older, hairier, but still rocking his rocker punk vibe. And the one detail that removes all doubt, the same black t-shirt with the white skull logo, the official symbol of that kid who traumatized Woody. But his life didn't seem to last very long after that, because in Coco, when Miguel ends up in the land of the dead and enters a talent show, there's a contestant on stage wearing that exact same skull shirt. Coincidence? Reused design? Or did Sid kick the bucket and become a musician in the afterlife? Fans swear it's totally him. And we stay strong inside the Toy Story universe, because when Pixar decides to create a treasure hunt, nothing stops them. In the third movie of the franchise, between new toys, old toys, and emotionally devastated toys missing Andy, there's a cameo that makes any Studio Ghibli fan yell, "Totoro, yes, him." The giant, fluffy, silent, and probably magical forest spirit who arrived straight from Japan into the toy room. But why is Totoro there, completely out of nowhere, in a Pixar movie? The answer is as surprising as the cameo itself. There's a family connection behind the scenes. The art director of Toy Story 3 is married to the niece of Hayao Miyazaki, the legendary writer and director of My Neighbor Totoro. So Totoro basically joined the movie like a family guest showing up at a barbecue, bringing that Ghibli meets Pixar energy that makes every animation fan believe that the whole animation world is one big family full of hidden references. And it's not only animated characters making cameos inside animated movies, sometimes real-world legends get honored too. That was the case with the amazing Stan Lee, creator of many of the world's most iconic heroes like Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Thor. This happened in Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. While Miles Morales is stumbling through his new spider-powered life, he walks into a store and there he is, Stan Lee, playing the shopkeeper, with that warm smile and a vibe that says, "I've seen this all before, kid." And the detail that made fans cry, scream, and blow kisses at the screen. Stan Lee passed away 1 month before the movie's release, which means this cameo wasn't just an Easter egg, it became a massive tribute to the father of modern Marvel, the man who built worlds, heroes, and villains, and who continues showing up in every universe, even the wildest ones. And hidden characters aren't only found in main scenes, sometimes they show up during the credits too. That's exactly what happens in the end credits of Finding Nemo, which include one of Pixar's craziest moments. Out of nowhere, Mike from Monsters, Inc. appears swimming in the ocean. And it's not just a quick drawing. He pops up full size, moving around, looking at the camera as if he took the wrong door and ended up underwater. It's shocking and hilarious at the same time. If you've seen Ratatouille, you probably remember the charming energy of Colette, the super talented chef who works with Linguini. Even though the movie is much older and had already been around for several years, when the first Inside Out came out, she still managed to show up in a subtle cameo. Colette appears on the cover of a cooking magazine sitting in the background, as if she were just another detail. But anyone who knows her instantly recognizes that strong personality in that photo. And it doesn't stop there, because in Up, you can also spot a surprising crossover. In the famous scene where the little girl is playing in her room tucked way into the corner, almost hidden, you can quickly notice the big villain from Toy Story 3 watching everything. It's one of those cameos that only sharp-eyed viewers catch, and when you notice it, the reaction is instant. No way they put him there. These tiny details show how Pixar loves to play with the audience. Since we're talking about Toy Story again, that franchise is basically a parade of kids showing up all the time. After all, the toys are always glued to children, whether it's Andy in the beginning or Bonnie later on. But in Toy Story 3, this goes even further, because the toys are taken to Sunnyside Daycare, full of kids running everywhere. And among all those children, one girl stands out for a very funny reason. She looks exactly like the little girl from the well-known scene in Up. Pixar really loves reusing faces, and that creates a fun connection between the movies. Another really fun reference happens in Tangled, but this time the cameo comes in the form of a book. Inside the famous tower where Rapunzel lives isolated, one of the items left in a corner is a book with none other than Ariel from The Little Mermaid on the cover. It's a direct nod to one of Disney's biggest classics, which even received a live-action version recently. These tiny details show how the studio loves connecting its worlds, even when the stories are completely different. We're wrapping up this video, but if you love having your mind blown, this is the place to be. That's why we picked 2 great videos for you to click, watch, and, best of all, keep hanging out with us.